Have you ever had a process that seems stable until it's not? One week everything runs like clockwork. The next, complaints, scrap, downtime. What changed? In factories like these, firefighting becomes the norm, not the exception. But here's what I use to break the chaos cycle: Statistical Process Control, or SPC for short. It's not just about charts and numbers. When used right, it's your early warning system, your inline quality radar. Let me show you how I use SPC to detect problems early, solve root causes faster, and stop issues before they spiral. Hi, I'm Trevor from Smart Advice Consulting. I've spent over 25 years helping manufacturers in food, textiles and heavy industry reduce defects, improve flow and raise quality, often without needing new equipment. One of my secret weapons? SPC. It's not flashy, it's not trendy, but it works, and most teams aren't using it properly. So today, I'll walk you through what SPC is, why it matters, how to use it, and a real example that saved a client thousands just by reading the data already in front of them. Let's jump into this. So, why should you care about SPC? Because variation is everywhere, and as Deming taught us, uncontrolled variation is the enemy of quality. Even in well-run factories, processes can drift. That drift might be caused by tool wear, material variability, human inconsistency, and even things like environmental conditions like temperature and humidity. SPC helps you spot that drift before it turns into defects, downtime or rework. It shows you when a process is stable, so in control. It also shows you when it's not, so it's out of control. But it also shows when changes are due to common cause variation, that's inherent noise or special causes, which could be something that's gone wrong. You'll often hear lean folks talk about go and see or do a Gemba walk. SPC gives you a lens for what to go and see, and it fits beautifully into Six Sigma and Lean. In DMAIC, SPC is key during control to sustain gains, and in PDCA, you use SPC to check and act with real evidence. Let's tackle a few myths head on. SPC is just for Six Sigma black belts. Wrong. If you can read a line graph, you can use SPC. It's too technical. You don't need calculus. You need a basic grasp of averages, limits and trends. Honestly, Excel can do the rest. And some people think it slows production down. Actually, it prevents slowdowns by catching issues early. It's like a dashboard, not a brake pedal. And as Deming said, in God we trust. All others bring data. Let's do a simple demo. Let's say you're making plastic caps and the critical dimension is 18mm plus or minus 0.1mm. You take 5 samples every hour and plot the average, that's X bar, and range, R. Here's what you might find. The values hover nicely within your control limits. That's great. You're in control. Suddenly, 1 point spikes beyond the upper limit. That's a red flag. Or maybe the trend is drifting upward, all within limits, but moving in one direction. That's a run rule violation. It signals something is changing subtly. With SPC, you're not just reacting to rejects, you're predicting them and you're preventing them. This is proactive quality. Here's a real case study. One of my clients, a food packaging plant, was overfilling their products by only a small amount on every single pack. As long as their checks showed a minimum weight was reached, they were happy. So we implemented SPC on fill weights, and it showed this giveaway was costing the business £40,000 per year. We plotted fill weight data at the machine. Immediately something was odd. Every single bag was filled to the minimum weight, regardless of what happened. It turns out this process was designed to never produce an underweight bag due to a 2-stage filling process, but the team assumed it might and built in £40,000 of costs just in case. We continued to monitor the process for several days and were able to see the process was very stable and the risk of underweights was almost zero. Based on that, we reduced the target fill weight, which resulted in annual savings of that £40,000. This was based on zero cost to implement, and all it took was reading the process in real time using SPC. SPC isn't just a QA department thing, it belongs on the shop floor. Here's how to integrate it. Include it in operator training. Teach people to see variation. Second, include it on visual boards, so post charts near machines, not in the office. Use it in tiered daily meetings, so review control charts like you would production or downtime data. And also include it in leader standard work. Audit SPC usage, not just results. SPC charts should be living tools, not dusty reports. Think of it like Toyota Kata. It's not about catching errors. It's about coaching people to think critically, respond early, and stay in control. So the next time you see quality issues creeping in, don't wait for the defect. Don't wait for the complaint. Track your process. Use SPC. It's not just data, it's insight, and it might just save your process and your profits. I'd love to hear from you. Are you using SPC today? Is it working? Or are those charts sitting unused? Drop a comment below, and if you want more real-world, lean, Six Sigma and quality tools that actually get results, hit subscribe and join the Smart Advice community. See you next time.